What's going on, my terrified economic little bastards? Uh, I know that video, you don't understand. I didn't want to make that video, but I had to make that video. But we'll get into that more later when I read the things. One thing, you know I'm gonna take a lot of shit for that. You know I'm gonna get hated even more for that. You know I'm gonna be called a FUD, a shill, an AMC killer, a clove pump and dumper. I don't know what they're gonna call me. At this point, I think they're gonna call me the Joker. But just look at everything I said. Fact check me, and you'll see what I was saying. That's not for me. Was true. So I just put it in a very loo way so you could absorb it. You know, I've always believed when we used to go to school, that teacher that was there, basically almost dead, reading from the book, nobody learned from that. It just didn't work. So you'll tell me if you want me to go more into what happens after, how to prepare, the opportunities, how to protect yourself in hyperinflation, the collapse, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of stuff to get into. So different than AMC, right? That's what's going on. By the way, that's out right now in super high demand. So, you know, hedgies, bees, goblins, whatever, they're looking to bring in people in those sectors that understand what's going to be on the other side to kind of help them gameplay, because they might lose control and things might get crazy. Cats on eBays every day. Oh my God. There was somebody out there saying, why you hate cats? I don't hate cats. I just make a joke because people that have cats really love them. So if they have to put them on eBay, you know things got tight. Bye, kitty. Anyway, moving on. All right, I'm going to give you a Benito story because that was some heavy stuff to get. But then relax, you can make a lot of money, protect yourself, and do everything like that. I can teach you guys how to become a bank, all kinds of stuff like that. So we got stuff. We got plays. Benny. The day I met Benny's cousin, Gui. Okay? Guillermo. But we called him Gui. Fucking Gui was the devil, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But nonetheless, Gui was away for a while. I'm just gonna say it like that. He was away at a state-run facility, okay? So all of a sudden, Benny tells me, hey, listen, man, Gui's coming back. I'm like, wow, I haven't seen Gui since we're real little. He's like, yeah, he's coming back. And, you know, be around the neighborhood so when he comes, you know, you can say hi to him. That's how it is in the neighborhood. You pay respect to people that have to go away to the state-run camp. Oh, fuck. I'll tell you how he wound up in that fucking facility. But anyway, let me just stick onto this. Because this is the Bronx Van Story that I promised everybody in the park I would say. I was just too tired after I did the whole 4 hours live. So I came home, my ears were ringing, I was dizzy. I barely made it home. As a matter of fact, the beautiful woman that said that I helped her pay her rent, she saw me a couple of blocks down. I couldn't stop a cab just because of the motion sickness. I took a cab eventually, but it was just like, it was so bad that it was just like concentrated effort, answering a lot of questions like that. So, you know, so people tell me, oh my God, was it great or whatever? I thought I was going to the hospital. So, still recovering from it. But it was worth it. I loved every one of the people that were there. It was like a big family. So, love you motherfuckers. Y, mamao. Pues hermano mío de los Poconos. Yo te mando un mensaje, no te preocupes. Anyway, so Gui was coming back. So we're in the neighborhood, whatever, and all of a sudden, because I know Gui was a crazy bastard. If you're related to Benny, I just hung out with Benny. You know, technically we were like related, like brothers from another mother, but Gui was bloodline. So that Mad Mike and him, that blood existed in him. So anyway, so Gui shows up. All of a sudden, this van shows up, And it was like the pimp van, like in the candy shop, like that kind of fucking van. The back had a fucking bed, the rims, the whole fucking thing. Back then, this was a rolling pimp condo machine. So Gui comes out, and it's cool to see people when they come back, especially because he shouldn't have been there. But I'll get into that on a different day. But he took it okay, whatever. Gui was a savage. So he comes back and he sees Benny, me, and Mad Mike. And we're like brothers. So he's like, yo, well, we're going to hang out, whatever. But he had a craving that day. He said, man, I haven't had like real, like New York food in a long time. It's like, what the fuck were they feeding you there? That's another conversation. So he's like, you know what, man? I have a craving for White Castle. Now, for all of you in the New York City area, White Castle, you're only going to get them in a couple of places. One of the places you get them, the original place, is up in the Bronx. So all of a sudden, he's like, come on, let's go up there. I want to get the White Castle. He's craving whatever. So Benito's like, yeah, I could do White Castle. Mike's like, he just finished taking the finger a couple of weeks ago, so he needed a White Castle to get that out of his mind. So all of a sudden, something told me in my brain, don't do it. Don't get in that fucking van. Just don't do it. All of a sudden, here I am opening the door. I'm in the fucking van. I'm sitting in the back. I'm on like a fucking half a sofa covered like leather print. You had the fucking disco ball in it. Whatever. This fucking thing was hilarious. So we're fucking heading up to the Bronx, South Bronx. And sure enough, we go to White Castle. And White Castle, for all you people that know in the nighttime, you better be prepared to fight for your life in White Castle in the South Bronx. Because you don't know what, when that door opens, ding, ding, you're ready for war. But either way, we got our White Castles, everything, we were cracking jokes. It was a blast. It was a blast. We was like a murderer, so to him it was like whatever. We were with Satan himself. So there was no problem. He was older than us. Then after we're done with the White Castle, he looks at us and he goes, you know what, man? I want to go see my ex-girlfriend. So we're like, yeah, I could understand that. You've been away at the state-run facility. I could understand that. He's like, I want to go see her. Let's go now. I looked at my watch. I'm like, doesn't she keep like normal hours? Because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll just, I'll go there and I'll just knock on her door. Yeah, where does this fine lady live at? Oh my God. We went to 181st Street in Burnside, where when I was a kid, I grew up in that area. Let me tell you something. This was the land of El Diablo. This is where the devil was created. It was hell. It was war. There's nothing of this. Burning buildings. Like this looked like fucking Lebanon. Like it looked like that in the old days. So here we are in the pimp mobile, driving to this fucking place where, like for real, like The Walking Dead should have been filmed in this neighborhood. Beautiful people, but fucking wild. You had people there. Was biker gangs, regular gangs. It was Fort Apache, the Bronx type stuff. So here we are, me, Mike, and Benito inside this fucking van, and Gui looking to be Cupid and talk to his ex. So all of a sudden he pulls up in front of this building, and this building is wild because it's like the only building there when there's like no other buildings built in the Bronx. They knocked them all down. Insurance job, fire deal. All of a sudden, there's one building. So he says, listen, I'm going to go up there. She's on the 4th floor. I'm just going to knock on the door. She's going to be happy, whatever. I know she got cousins and sisters. We were like that. All right, whatever. We got White Castle. Spin the little disco ball. So we're there. All of a sudden, we're just hanging out there, just, looking around, looking at all the crackheads running back and forth. All the nefarious people in the neighborhood. And we're in this fucking van. The black van, where they hanging out, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye on the 4th floor, I see flashes, multiple flashes of light. This gunfire. A lot of gunfire. And in my brain, I was like, wait a minute, we said he was going to the 4th floor. So all of a sudden, it sounded like fucking Baghdad was fucking just Fallujah was happening on the 4th floor. I had no idea what that was. All of a sudden, Gui, our fearless leader, he runs downstairs, runs to the front of the building. We're like, Gui, come on, motherfucker. He gets the keys. Gui didn't come on. Gui went the other way. We started running down the block. And we were in the van like that. Where you going? All of a sudden, out of that building, must have been like 13 white Puerto Ricans come out in like tank tops, no shirts. People were freaking with hammers, machetes, fucking, they were there to kill. And all of a sudden, there was the 3 of us in the van. All of us turned into ninja mode. Fucking putting Mikey had like a pillow on him. Fucking Benny looked like a fucking rock. Benny was on the floor like fucking. Let me tell you something. That van. It was our fucking. That was our grave, our casket. We went into death mode. So when they couldn't get him, they were looking around to see what car he came in. And they went to the van, and we're in the van like this. And they're looking inside, and we're like this trying to capture the shadows. You know, fuck. Not even breathing. We're doing half a breath. And all of a sudden, they start shaking the van. Trying to see if they can move and see something inside. And we're holding the best we can. But we know any moment we're going to have to fight to the death. And this one we're not going to survive. Because you don't make it out 181st Street in Burnside. You just don't. That's like the end of the book. The end. So we were there. And all the things start running to your brain. Run to the train station. No, they'll catch me. The train won't come. They got dogs. The door won't open. Benny will trip. You're going through all these scenarios. And then all of a sudden, you hear all this shooting. All this fucking shooting happening. And you see like bullet holes going through the van. Like street light is going through the holes. And what it is, we're trying to get low, duck, cover. I think I had Benny sneaking on my face. I had a leopard blanket over me. I don't know what the fuck was happening. It was just wild. Everything was shooting, people screaming, everything. What happened was, fucking Gui, he didn't abandon us. He went to get the cavalry. He had family on the other side of the street. So he brought those crazy Puerto Ricans over. And those savages came over. And let me tell you something. It was Fallujah right there on the corner. And all of a sudden, after everything is done and people are limping away, bring Julio. Giving him fucking oxygen. All of a sudden, Gui gets in the van. Hey, you fellas okay? Fucking okay. I think I had a bullet hole in my shirt. I was like, Jesus Christ, what happened? Now I was knocking on her apartment. I didn't know she got married. So the guy started shooting and neighbors came out and family. And he's like, man, I want to go back to White Castle. I was like, motherfucker, get me back to Manhattan or I'll fucking stab you, you motherfucker in your White Castle. I'm fucking sick of White Castle and Puerto Ricans. I don't want to fucking ever come back to the fucking Bronx again. An hour later, we're in fucking White Castle. Fucking traumatized. Fucking Mikey, first he takes a finger off and next thing he knows, they're shaking the fucking van and we're like this fucking, oh, I love you, don't shoot me. What the fuck is this? Let me tell you something. That night, we hung out for a while, then we went over to IHOP in Riverdale with the normal people for breakfast. That's when IHOP was actually good breakfast. Now you eat that stuff, you catch liver cancer. But let me tell you something. That was one of the best nights with Gui, Benny, and Micah ever had because once the sun came over the horizon, I knew nobody was going to shoot at me and I will never get into a fucking van ever again in my life. So I hope you enjoy that story. I promised you people I was going to say it that night, so I'm a couple of days delayed. That fucking van had the fuzzy dice. Remember those things? The fuzzy dice was going. They were moving it. I'm like, if you fucking Puerto Ricans are there and you ever shook that van on 181st, let me tell you something. What were you trying to do? Give me a fucking heart attack? I'm a fucking half a fag. I'm in the back. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I get here? I got the fucking White Castle in my fucking throat, and I see fucking Benny on the ground, fucking just like a polar bear. He looked like a polar bear rug. Oh my God. Fucking Puerto Ricans, Jesus. That's why they probably banned us on fucking on eHarmony. Oh, that's my ex-girlfriend. They don't do that stuff. Good morning, good night, fucking whatever. Fucking people, man. Fucking Puerto Ricans with vans. Who the fuck put that van in fucking his hand? How the fuck did he get a van in the first place? I never thought about that. He just came out of the state facility and he had a fucking van waiting for him. It was one of those fucking 18 type Mr. T vans rolling up in the Bronx. Imagine the fight that happened after he left. So your ex came to see you. I hate that motherfucker. She was screaming too that she hates him and kill him. And I'm like, I almost yelled out, he's not in the van. You fucking bitch, she's not in here. Oh, when we ran the other direction, it was just a silent thing. We were like that, come back. You motherfucker, he abandoned us. Oh, but he brought the rest of the Rican army. Fucking Julio, Pablo, Francisco, everybody. I think the Chihuahua came too, everybody. Oh my God. You fucking Puerto Ricans. Like, Jesus Christ, man. What the fuck? Can't you do anything fucking normal? Like, fucking ridiculous, man. I think even Abuelita was out there gonna fucking stab us. Fucking, I'm gonna fucking sleep, you fucking people.